Hello, Julie here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making an embellishment for my journal that I'm working on at the moment. I'm using papers from Denise Boddey Designs for this journal, and the one that I'm going to use for today's embellishment is from the Elegance collection, and it's called Refined. So I saw this embellishment on YouTube and had to give it a try. I saw a video by Carol Law, but I'm sure that there are others out there that have done it as well. And I'm adapting it a little because I'm using 12 by 12 paper and she was using an A4 sheet. So now I'm going to cut this down to 8 inches. So 8 inches, and that leaves me that piece, and I'm going to cut it down to 11.5 inches long. Okay, now I'm going to use my scoreboard. And I'm going to score along this 11.5 inch edge. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. At this stage it doesn't matter which way up I have my paper. 4 inches, 7.5 inches and 11 inches. Then I'm going to turn it long ways along the 8 inch edge, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and 7.5 inches. Okay. Right, now I'm going to fold those 1/2 inch scores in all the way around. This is going to be a flip out, and this paper that I'm using from Denise is a nice sturdy paper. I should find out from her exactly what the GSM is on this paper. It's probably a cardstock more than a paper, and so it will hold its weight nicely. Okay, now decide which is going to be the front of my thing, and that's going to be this one here. Yep. Yes, now I'm going to trim this top section here off. I'm hopeless with scissors. I don't know why I even think about trying to do this. I'm just going to cut that off on a slight angle, and I'm going to do the same at the bottom here. And trim that off that way as well. And then I'm going to also trim this at a V, just down to that score mark, and this one, I'm just trimming that at a slight angle. And here I'm going to trim that whole corner out on a slight angle both ways for the top and the bottom. Okay, so we've got something that looks like that. This is scored, this is scored, there's scored. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to fold along these score lines. Like that, and then this one will fold back that way. So I can burnish those. so. So this, we can fold that down like so, and that one up, and that one in, and that's going to make our pocket. Actually, I'm going to cut that one off because we don't really need that one. Okay, so that is going to go like so, and you can see we've got a gusset here and a gusset on the bottom, so we've got a gusseted pocket there. Then these are going to come in this way, and they are going to, let's just say, so that's going to attach to my page like so. So it's the same height as my page, and I'm going to butt it up to the edge of that page, and that will sit on there like so. That will be a pocket, and then that will flip out, and when I attach this on here, I'm only going to attach it here, here and here. So what I need to do now is I'm going to take this to my sewing machine, because as you can see everything in here has already been stitched around, so I'm going to continue that through, and I'm going to stitch around my whole pocket thing before I do any gluing. So I'll go and do that, and then I'll come back. Okay, so this is what we have now. You can see I've inked around it. I did that before I did the stitching. Just makes it easier to see the folds when you're sewing along. Also, if you run your bone folder over the back of your stitching, it smooths it out and things don't get caught on it as you're putting them in things in pockets and things like that. So I try to remember to do that to all of my stitching, but it doesn't always work, I can tell you. Okay, so now we're going to start gluing it together. So the first pocket is there, so we need to add some glue here. Take the glue right to the edge so that you get a good stick there, and you're not going to have anything getting it in your way as you're sliding things in and out of your pocket. And of course we're going to do the same for this one. Glue. So I'm taking that right to both edges so that it sticks nicely. And then I'm going to close that and stick those down. Finish them with your bone folder. And that is that one. Yes, that goes like that. Oh, I didn't put a divot in there. I meant to put a divot in that. Let's see if I can still get my hole punch in there. It's quite large. Oh, I can put it in both. So, oh no, it's not gonna. That's not gonna work because I've stitched along there. So no divots in these pockets. Should have. If you want divots in your pockets, do it before you do your stitching and before you do your gluing. So there's our first pocket. Now this one is going to be stuck to that, but I'm going to stick this edge down to itself. I'm going to have to do something about that. Glue's getting a bit clogged up. Let's try again. Here we go. So this is just reinforcing for that lip where we're going to be sliding things in and out. You can cut this off if you don't want it there, or if you haven't got quite enough paper, you can, you know, you've only got 11 inches or something like that, you can do without that flap if you want to. Okay, so that's our front pocket, and this now is going to go onto a page in here. So what do we got there? Does that go nicely with that page or that page? I'm going to stick it onto one of these. I think I'll put it there because I've got a fairly plain page there where you can write, and yeah. So I'm going to put that on there like so. So I want to, actually I might just put a little bit of glue under there, and then I'm going to attach this edge, whoops, this edge and this edge. That is going to line up with the end of this page. So, fingers crossed, it sits on there nicely. I did make it the height of my page, which is 7 inches. So, put that out, burnish this glue. No, that's the page behind it, I think. Yes. Okay. So, there we have our side pocket and our top pocket, and I'm going to now make a tag to go in that. Well, I want the tag to be the same height as this, and I'll make it, how far does that pocket actually open? I think it should open all the way. Yes, it does. And that is 3.5. So I'm going to make it 3 1/4 by 7. Get my trimmer. What is it? Now, on Miss Paint-A-Lot, she did a fancy thing with her tab that I'm going to do on this. So I'm going to make my tab about take 6/8 off, that's 3/4 of an inch. So if I cut that 2.5 inches, cut this 2.5 inches. This way. 2.5 inches, and how big is that? inches. If I fold that in half, that will be plenty big enough. That will be too big. What I'm going to do, right, let's move this out of the way for a moment, and this can work out exactly how deep I need this. So what I'm going to do is use my whale tail, and you fold your paper in half, and that's not exactly square, is it? Well, it is, but the fold's not. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to make sure that I've got that folded nice and square. Okay, so with this one, what you do is you put that in there, you fold your card in half, you put it in there, and it cuts out like so. So you've got that, and you've got your whale tail. If you only want like a single one, you can just put a single layer of paper in there. I'm going to be actually using this part of it, and that is going to be my tab at the top. Now I want it so it's just not quite poking through like that. So I don't think I need that coming down that far, so I'm going to cut that off about there. I'll get my trimmer back and cut that there. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to get some acetate, and I haven't got any out ready, so I'm going to go and get that and I'll be back. Before I go on with the tab, I'm going to back my tag with some of this avocado dyed paper. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'll use the grey. If I have any left. Let me have a look. Oh yeah. There's a piece that will do it. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to back that tag with this paper, and this is the paper that I've used for my plain pages there. So I'm going to stick that onto there. I mean, it's a pretty back anyway, but I'm looking for a bit of extra stability because it's a tag and it's going to be going in and out of the pocket. I like to have a fairly firm feel to it. I'm not big on having a floppy tag that is hard to push in and pull out of the pockets. So I always like to make my tags fairly sturdy. I'll try and get that straight across there like so, and then use my bone folder to burnish that down. Just gives it that bit of extra heft, which I think is pretty useful. Now I'm going to trim that down. Okay, now my next step is to sew around the edge of this. So I'm going to ink it first. Oh no, I'm going to round the corners first. So I'm going to use the middle rounding that's not. Perhaps it doesn't like it because it's still wet with the glue. So I'm going for the big one. The largest rounding on that. And while I'm at it, I will also round the corners on this piece. Okay. So I'm going to ink around the edge of this, and I'm going to ink around the edge of the tag. Then I'm going to take the tag and this to the sewing machine and stitch around them. That will save me having to do them while they're attached to each other. Might be a little bit easier, I don't know, but we'll see how we go. Alright, so I'll go and do that, and when I'm finished I will come back. Okay, so I've stitched around that and I've stitched around that, and I've made a journaling card while I was at it. So this is going to go in that side pocket. Let me find my page. Okay, so that flips out, and this is going to go in there. Like so. I'm not going to put a tab on that. So that will just go in there like that. And I might decorate the back. But that's pretty plain. You could write on both sides of that. I think I might cut those cottons off. Okay, so back to this. Now, acetate. We need some acetate, and I've got some here. So we need the acetate so that it is less wide than your tab, but wider than this hole. And we need it just so that it's going to cover. So I'm going to cut that off about there, but not wide enough that it's going to poke out side of your thing. Actually, I might make that just a smidge. I might cut around the corners a bit. I guess I could use my corner rounder to do that. Okay. Right, so that's going to go in there. So let's glue that in. And we don't want it to poke out the sides. I'll just take a fraction off of the width. Not too much. I just want to make sure that it's sitting inside of that stitching. Okay, so now we're going to add our glue to this. Now don't get too close to the edge of your cutout, because if you do, when you put your acetate on and you smooth the glue out, it will run inside your acetate, so you'll be able to see it. And when you've got that on there, smooth your acetate, or smooth your glue away from your opening, so that as it spreads out and not into your opening. Okay, I'm just going to let that dry for a minute, and I'm going to use these rub-ons, 49 Market rub-ons, and let me have a look. I just want something that's going to fit in there. Okay, so I could use a butterfly. That little butterfly there would probably fit all right, or maybe even that butterfly. just going to fold it that way. So the top of the butterfly is going to be up there. So I probably need this bit smaller one. Yep. Okay, so let's use that. Okay, so that on there, which is, that's going to be the front. Actually, I might rub it onto the outside. So I'll put it on there, that's going to be the front. And they do supply a stick in their pack somewhere there for rubbing on. You can use that, or you can use your bone folder, or you can use anything really to rub these on. These latest rub-ons, or the more modern rub-ons, are very easy to apply. The ones from years ago are not so easy. Very happy that they've changed all that. Okay, so there's our little butterfly rub-on. Now I think that my glue has had a chance to stick down now, so I'm going to fold this over. Make sure it lines up nicely, and then burnish down along that acetate line. Now I'm going to just ink a little bit more along there. Now we can take this and we can stick that onto there. So let's stick some glue down the bottom here. Don't go above your cutout, and go right down to the edges. Careful not to get too close to the edge of your acetate, otherwise your glue will seep into your... So now we're going to stick that on there so that we can just there like so, and burnish that down. Try and wipe your glue back away from your acetate, not like I did on that one. See, I've got the glue in there. I'm going to put some clips on here just to hold that in place because of that acetate. And art glitter glue dries pretty quickly, so just want to put a bit of pressure on that till it does grab. Okay, rightio, so that will fit into our pocket. can use anything in there. You could use, I think the one I saw put a flower or something in there. You don't have to use a rub-on. You can use a little fussy cut element or something like that. I thought I'd use the rub-on because, I could put another one on the back. See if I can get that off. I don't know how it got on there, but there it is. I'll do that. Okay, so I could put another rub-on on the back there, couldn't I? And that would be nice. Now that I've put them away, one there, is that little tiny one there. There we go. So now we've got one on each side. Okay. Okay, so now we can pop our journaling card or our tag into our pocket, and that is that little, oh no, we'll do some decorating. Okay, so I had a look around, and this is a cluster that I created some time ago. I did them in a video, I think, so I'll link the video in the description box if you're interested in checking that out. And I'm going to just attach that here so that those morning glories are sort of poking out from behind. Should I put it up there? I don't know, I tend to like my embellishments at the bottom for some reason. I think I might just put it there. So this is just made of scraps, and I made a whole heap of them. Excuse me. I made a whole heap of them, just put them in my little system, and they're ready for when I want to use them somewhere. So today's the day that this one will be used. And I also have heaps of fussy cuts from Denise's papers, and I thought I might stick this one on this page here, like so. And first of all, I'll ink around it. The reason I'm doing that is, I know I said that I've got a nice page there for journaling, but we have added a lot of journaling space to the page with our tags and our journaling card, and plus inside of here you can write on there. I'm not going to put anything in there, so that can be written on as well. So I think that you know, there is plenty of space to write in this page, so I'm not too concerned about putting this on and taking up quite a bit of space on that page. So how is everybody? I hope everybody is well. I'm well, and all the people around me are well, so that's a good thing. So once I've stuck this down, I think I'm going to call this page done, unless something else pops up that I think I should have done when I have a final look at it. So I'm going to just attach all the little fiddly bits so that they don't get caught in anything. Make sure we got plenty of glue on there so that it doesn't come adrift. And I think I'm going to put it, no, how did I have it? No, it's got to go that. They're upside down though, aren't they? Oh, I'm going to go that way. Okay, let's just tap that down. Okay, so there we have our page for today. We've made a little flip out with a large tag inside for journaling. I will clean that ink off the back of that, hopefully. And here we've got journaling space, and then we've got a journaling card in here as well. So lots of writing area. And yeah, so that's it. I'm pretty happy with my page for today. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not already a subscriber, I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel. And I hope that you can join me for my next video. Okay, thanks. Bye.